You guys, ever since I started working, I forgot how to read a book. This is really an accountability check. Hey y'all, it's me, Ariana. Welcome back to my video. Today is going to be, what you guessed it, another reading challenge. But it's not really a reading challenge, it's just basically seeing how much I can read in a day. Today is my first day off since starting my new job. And as exciting as that is, it made me realize that, yeah, I gotta use my 24 hours way differently. Like, it's harder to read a book. I went from reading 3 to 5 books a week to only reading 1 to 2 books a week. We not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna talk about that. We're gonna do better though. That's why we have today off, and we're gonna see how many books, or if I could get through one book in one day. So far, I am 54% of this book right now. It's called Black Girls Must Have It All by Jayne. So far, so good. I'm not gonna spoil the books like I have in the past videos. I'm going to try to keep this video as spoiler free as possible. So yeah, so we have this book. Then the next one will be Ethic 2 by Antoinette. I read the first book and y'all, when I tell you, stressed out the whole time. I blame this book for the next book because typically I don't read black rom-coms. It's just black romances, period. But after a heavy book like this, you need something fluffy. It's like watching SpongeBob after a scary movie. Yeah, this is my SpongeBob, which is The Wedding Date by Jasmine Galuri. I think I read 2 of her books. I read, oh my gosh, I'm blanking. And I'm pretty sure it was in the last challenge too. Hold on, let me look it up.
A few moments later.
If you guys are on my Pinterest, you'll see all the books I'm currently reading anyway. So like, go follow my Pinterest. It's down in the link below. You know, we could be our very own book club, but on Pinterest, with other things that I am doing and using at the moment. But yes, I read 2 of her books. One of the books that I read was, no, I'm lying, I've read 3 of her books. Wow. Does that make me a Jasmine Galuri fan and into black rom-coms by accident? Anyways, I read By the Book by Jasmine Galuri, While We're Dating by Jasmine Galuri, and The Proposal by Jasmine Galuri. And I will say, all of these books has been pretty good. I do recommend. And now I'm on this book, The Wedding Date. I think this is part of a series. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. It is, yeah, it's called the series The Wedding Date. So this was actually the first book. I read it out of order, of course. I read the second book and the last book. Why are we really surprised at this point? BFFR. I'm not too surprised that I be reading books out of order. I do this all the time. I think actually Antoinette is the first book I haven't read out of order, but that's because everybody warned me. They said don't read it out of order, you have to read it in order or it's not going to make sense. And now that I've read this book in order, I think this is the second series I've ever read in order. I understand now, like, yes, you have to read all of the books. And even though Ethic is its own series, Moth to a Flame is the first book. We could argue about it in the comments. Moth to a Flame, you have to read Moth to a Flame before you read any of the Ethic books or it won't make sense. Don't argue with me, argue with your mama. Even the author said that. Anyway, we're getting off topic. Let's get back on topic. So yes, it is currently 11:39. So we're gonna see, like I said, how many books we're gonna get through. I'm confident that we're gonna at least get into these 2 books. I'm very confident. Finishing this book, I'm not sure, but we're definitely gonna get to this book by the end of the day. Wish me luck. Alright, so we're a little less than an hour in. I realized I never told you guys exactly where I was starting. I only told you guys I was 54% done with the book. I started on chapter 16 of this book. I am now on chapter 23, which means I read approximately 54 pages. Realty. Definitely gonna finish this book by the end of the day. The other question is, will I be able to finish the other one? Because I'm not gonna lie, I think it's one of those series you can't just read all in one day. It's kind of a horror movie in a book. So we're gonna see how much we could get into that. But so far, this book, oh my gosh, y'all, I can't lie, it took a little warming up to. Like the first book, I was like, it's okay. It was kind of mid, like I'm not gonna lie, 3 stars. But I started reading more and more, and by the time I got to the final book, I cannot lie, it's pretty good. I love how, first of all, it's not a romance book, which I love because I kind of started getting tired of romance books. I know, crazy, but it was just a breath of fresh air and talked about real topics that Black women have to go through, especially working newly into motherhood. Like it's a really good book. So yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it too much. However, if you want to know more about the book, please follow me on TikTok. Once again, link down below. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna make a slight video about it and put in the description of what it's about. Let me get back into reading the book.
Fast from a day job, running fast from the was, jump quick to a paycheck, running back to the strip club.
Hey y'all, I'm back. Been reading for almost 2 hours now. Yeah. Once again, got through I think 54 pages. I'm at chapter 31 now. And I'm very confused on the main character. I see where she's coming from, but okay, sorry, spoiler alert. If you guys don't want any spoilers on the book, please skip. This is y'all time to leave now. Let's just talk about the main character. So the main character, Tabby, she's been contemplating this whole time if she really wants to be with Mark, her love interest slash baby father. And I feel like she's been contemplating this since book 1, and I'm confused why we're still here. Granted, this book makes me realize both perspectives now of not only Tabby but as well as Mark. But I feel as though they will never work unless they do one of the biggest decisions ever, which is therapy. Not only couples therapy, but therapy separate, because in this book it really shows like Mark's family and their dynamic, and I understand why now Mark is the way he is. But in the same sense, sir, you're grown. We gotta start figuring it out. Especially now that they have a child. Like, I feel like as though both parties are so scared of messing up like their parents did that they're going to become their parents, but in a different way or abbreviation. Honestly, this book kind of made me realize that as a parent, it's a hard job. It's a hard job. Sometimes it's a thankless job. And not only that, you're going to mess up, but you just gotta pray to God that your good outweighs your bad. And so I feel as though they both need therapy, but for different reasons. I feel like Tabby, she's slowly forgiving her past traumas and her issues within her own family. Like, she's slowly getting there. However, I think she still needs therapy, not only for her past traumas and in situation, but as well as her now just being a new mom, new change. Like, that's a lot of change so quickly and so fast, and I think that she needs somebody to talk to freely with no judgment and just give her solid coping, what is it called, mechanisms. Yes, because right now, I mean, love her friends to death, but her friends, I feel like they will never fully understand. Alexis is too much in her own world, and she thinks that everything needs to happen her way, and if it's not her way, it's not good. Layla, she, at the end of the day, she's not a mom nor a wife, and she's understand that. So she's even said it herself, like, I really can't relate to this part of your life right now. And I could say that myself, as someone who is not a mother and not a wife, like, I cannot relate to what Tabby is going through. I can only imagine. But I feel as though, like, if she speaks to a therapist about her situation, it would take off a lot of weight off her friends, her family, like her mom, and Duele, her midwife. I feel as though, like, it would definitely help her, like, measure out some things. And not only that, I kind of admire Tabby because with all of this, being a new mom, job instability, all of that, maternity leave, trying to be a good friend, she's still sitting down with herself and trying to think, am I still Tabitha Walker? Like, am I still doing this for myself? And honestly, I needed to see that in a book, because while reading this book, I sat here and thought about it. I was like, wait a minute. When's the last time you asked yourself that question? Like, you've always looking at the negative, but instead, I think I just had like this realization out of nowhere. I'm gonna get through this rant, I promise. A couple of days ago, I went to practice, and my coach said something like that just, it spoke over my life. It was probably God at that moment, but speaking through her. But she said, you know, you're over here so worried about the negative instead of worrying about what you can fix. Worry about what you can fix. And I'm like, that's crazy, because when you think about it with life, like, I'm over here worried about everything that could possibly go wrong or is going wrong in my life, instead of worrying about what I can fix and what I can do and what I do want. And this, leading back to the book, Tabby, she finally gets to the conclusion, like, what do I actually want? And it's to the point where even her friends, like, me and her friends, like, we have, I don't know if I like her friends or not, because her friends, they're kind of weird, like, they're selfish in their own ways. But the moment that Tabby decides to be selfish, it's a whole thing, it's a whole blow up, and that's so unfair. Because, like, she finally sat down and questioned herself, like, well, what do I actually want? It's okay to change, but is this the change that I actually want? And the fact that nobody seems to understand that, I think the only person that understands is her mom, which is crazy. Because once again, if you read the book and you see where her and her mom relationship started to where it is now, the fact that her mom is the only person that could possibly understand, not even Mark, which granted, I understand where Mark is coming from, because his whole family situation, you know, his daughter probably not having the chance to meet his dad. Like, I completely understand where he was coming from. But what upset me about Mark is that he was so in his head about his situation that he didn't even think for a second how Tabby would have felt. How Tabby, first of all, going for a job that statistically wasn't meant for her, and she possibly had a shot at it, but she had to have been there. About his daughter, first of all, that actually pissed me off, because I thought immediately, I wasn't, and no offense to Tabby, I'm saying no offense to Tabby, like, Tabby's a real person, but anyway, still, no offense to Tabby. In my head, I'm thinking child first. So forget what Tabby got going on with her promotion. My child was just born, probably, I think at this point it was either a little less than 3 months, or maybe she's getting to 3 months, and you want to take your newborn that her immune system is not fully developed yet to a IC unit to see your sick father that decided he gonna put himself in that situation. I got so irritated, because it was just like, you literally risked your daughter's health for your father. What if now they both get sick? Now what you finna do? And that's why I was like, yeah, Mark needs therapy bad, and he needs to figure out his own situation, because he's putting his own feelings and his past traumas onto Tabby, which is not fair, because I feel like Tabby is already dealing with so much, and for him to like project what he's feeling in the inside on her is so it's disheartening. Honestly, I feel for my girl Tabby, I really do. But that's a little spoiler. I'm so sorry. I know I said it was gonna be spoiler free, but that just made me think about everything, and I had like a whole moment where it was just like, wow, okay. But anyways, let's get back into reading.
Never going back, never going back. No, you can't make me. Never going back, never going back. They never take me.
So we are back. Warning, it's raining outside, so hopefully the background doesn't pick it up, but you could hear the thunder, so ignore that if you do. Anyways, I finished Black Girls Must Have It All by Jayne Allen. I will not lie, after reading everything, I will give it a 5 out of 5. I liked how you kind of have to make up the own ending to her story, kind of, not really. If you read it, you'll see what I mean. Like, yes, she had an ending, but it wasn't complete, because it's just like, okay, so what happened to this person, what happened to that person, what happened to, you know. But other than that, it was good. I liked it. Now I started ethic 2, so it is currently 4:14 in the afternoon, and me personally, I like to start winding down and getting ready for bed 12 hours before I have to wake up. So technically I was supposed to start winding down at 5, however I'm just gonna wind down at 6 and call it a day. And so that leaves me with a little less than 2 hours to read left. My prediction is I'm going to get to read 200 pages in total, not in the book, because 200 pages in less than 2 hours is very ambitious. So far though, I have read completely 146 pages. I'm on the first chapter of Ethic Part 2, so there's not really much to really say other than Morgan, sweetie. Oh Jesus, I'm worried already, and I haven't even read past chapter 1 yet. And it's not even because like anything has happened yet, it's literally chapter 1, but knowing the history of these characters, I'm just like, my heart is already, it's pumping. It's pumping. I'm stressed already based off of PTSD, past traumatic stress disorder, from this series. So yeah, I'm gonna see you guys after legit an hour.
I paid enough of petty dues. I put enough of shitty news. I had a thing for dirty shoes since I was 10. Love dirty.
Y'all, this book drained me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Today drained me.
I'm only 36% in. I'm at chapter 9. I've officially read 100 pages of this book exact. And what I tell you, oh my gosh. And you know what's crazy? Like, I haven't looked back on this like the footage, of course, because you know I'm filming it. I could already imagine my face like throughout the book. It was probably stressed. It was stressed. Y'all, I'm only 36% in on this book. We ain't even make it to the climax. We ain't even make it halfway. And my heart already, I don't even know how to explain without spoiling it. You guys are gonna have to read it yourselves. Honestly though, of course, so far it's a 5 out of 5. Did we expect anything less from Ashley Antoinette though? Where do I even start? Like, so much was going on already and the book barely started. When I told you I was stressed out from chapter 1, and it's not even because anything fully started yet, but I already knew. Because where the last book left us off, I knew it was gonna be some things. It was gonna be some ish. That's me being PG as possible. I knew it was gonna be some ish. Wow. First of all, let me say right now, Alani is better than me. That's the best way I could explain it without going too in depth and spoiling the book. Alani is better than me, girl, because I'm not gonna lie, chat, I would have took that to the grave. What? I would have took that to the grave. Ain't nobody was finna know that, because, well, okay, I'm not gonna say I would have took it completely to the grave. Somebody would have known, but I wouldn't let that man know, because the way he went from 0 to 100 so quick, to the point where, I mean, technically I'm not spoiling it because it's in the beginning, but let's just say she got knocked up a few times like a ping pong machine. I'm talking ping ping ping. Like, what? And it's just like, I understand why he was so upset, and I could see where he's coming from, and that's what kind of pisses me off. But to put hands on that woman is crazy. That's diabolical work. Like, I could understand how he feels betrayed and, like, you know, but at the end of the day, he can't even get mad, because where was you when all of this was going down? None of this would have probably happened if he was actually there. Like, not only that, it was just like, I understand you're angry, I understand you're mad. Like, I don't want to be in your position, because what? That would hurt my soul. But to like put it out on the person that raised your child when you physically could not be there, like, let's not do that. let's not do that. Heart goes out to literally everybody in this story because it's like no one wins. That's the sad part about it. I feel like, especially with this book, this makes me realize no one wins. No matter what rank you are in this game that they got going on, it's not even a game because this is these people real life, and actual IRL, like this is people real life, and this is crazy to me because this is, when does it end? Could you ever really get out of it? I don't think so. It's only two ways it can end. You either 6 feet under or behind bars. There's no other way, and that's the cruel truth about this book. And not only that, but some people's actual life. Like, this is so sad. Even by affiliation. For example, oh my gosh, okay, I'm not gonna say too much without saying too much, but let's just say someone was at the wrong place at the wrong time and still ended up getting knocked. And I want to cry for everybody in this story, and I'm only 36% in.
Seems like I think again. They just keep calling.
Oh my god, like Ashley, girl, what have you been through to create stories like this? We need to get, could we get a autobiography about your life? Like, I need to know. Why did I flip to the last page by accident, think I'm gonna see like about the author? Ugh, I don't even want to spoil it for y'all. I'm pissed. I spoiled it for myself. Ain't no way. Oh my gosh, wait, no, now I'm pissed off. No. No, now I have to ruin the story for myself. I'm gonna go look up on Google. Did I just see what I think I just see? Who? What? No, bro. No, bro. That's not how the story ends. That's not how this, y'all. All right, time to wrap this video up because yeah, I'm gonna go cry for a second. Cause what? First of all, I'm upset because I know she put her acknowledgments in the front, but I still thought that about the author was gonna be in the back. I just ruined this book for myself by accident. Also, okay, before I really end this video for real, so boom, I learned something about myself. I am what they call an immersive reader. Oh my gosh, let me tell you guys about it because I'm so excited. So remember, I don't know, I think I told you guys a while ago, and I'm gonna die on this hill about it. Reading a physical book or an ebook with an audiobook is still considered reading. I don't care. We could argue about it in the comments. Anyways, I discovered that is called immersive reading. Ugh. I'm so deep into book talk now that what I was doing was actually normal, and there's a whole community that does it, and I'm just so excited that I'm not alone because I'm telling you, I'm going to die on this hill about that. Immersive reading is probably the best type of reading you could do. Hear me out. You get through the book way faster. I feel like for me, I'm actually comprehending, especially when it comes to names. I suck with names, I'm not gonna lie to you. So like some of the names in a lot of these books that I've read, when you hear like what it actually is, I'm like, wow, oh my gosh, wow. Like that's how you actually say these people names. Interesting. And not only that, I'm fully like into the book. Like I cannot get distracted because I'm literally hearing and seeing. I'm using two senses at the same time. It's kind of hard to break out of reading when both of your senses are like fully immersed. But yeah, I just had to get that out. Should I, let me know in the comments down below, should I like continue reading at least this book on camera? Because when I tell you, this is probably going to take me through an emotional roller coaster. And I'm trying to see, like, should I film it? I feel like if I film it, though, like, it will help me finish the book faster. Because I'm not going to lie, when I was filming this, it was just like, I can't stop, won't stop. Even though I wanted to stop multiple times and catch my breath. But I pushed through, I persevered, and I got to the other side and realized it wasn't that bad. So should I? Y'all let me know in the comments down below. Anyways, if you guys made it this far in the video, thank you guys so much for watching my video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, my loves.